Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. And today we finna react to Unforgiven 2008 was absolute chaos. I remember it, but I don't remember. I remember this was after SummerSlam. So John Cena got injured with the neck injury from Batista. Batista went on to, I believe, face Chris Jericho. I want to say he went on to face Chris Jericho, or no. Chris Jericho, I think that championship scramble match happened. And Chris Jericho, he lost to Shawn Michaels, but he won the World Heavyweight Championship, which is ass backwards, by the way. How you lose the blood feud, but ended up winning. You lose the blood feud, but you end up winning the title. That's great. Yeah. But anyway, so I still say they need to bring back the championship scramble match, bro. They need to bring that back. That was a fire concept. They need to bring it back. I know they have an iteration of it on NXT. I know that there's an iteration of it on NXT, and they're about to redo it again because Survivor Series is about to come up. And normally around Survivor Series, they have that iteration of that match. But I would love to see on the main roster, I would love to see that championship scramble match come back. It'd be better than watching fucking War Games. I know that much. I'm just saying. I'd rather watch a championship scramble match than a War Games match at Survivor Series. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into this.
When SummerSlam 2008 went off the air, despite the show being a banger, the WWE was in a weird spot. Cena had gotten injured against Batista, Edge got sent to hell, praise the Lord, Randy Orton had been injured for months, and when your SummerSlam title matches are CM Punk taking on JBL and Triple H against the Great Khali for some reason, despite the roster being stacked, something just fell off. Now, Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels were in the middle of an all-time classic feud, but somehow the stakes still just didn't feel high enough. Sorry, Rebecca. So then the question becomes, how the hell do you get things popping again for the next pay-per-view? Well, why don't we just invent a brand new match? Why don't we just take an Iron Man match, give it Royal Rumble entrances, add the chaos of a gauntlet match, and then have like 20 title changes throughout the match, and not only debut this match at our next pay-per-view, but let's do it 3 times in the same night. Unforgiven 2008 is the definition of we need to shake things up, pal. In a span of 3 hours, the landscape of the company was gonna change, the economy was collapsing, my parents were about to lose the house, but hey, at least we were getting 3 championship scramble matches for the price of 1.
Yep.
Once Pyro lit up Cleveland, the first match of the night was the ECW Championship Scramble, because what better way to put over your brand new match type as something special than having the 2008 ECW bums do it first. Now, a championship scramble match is a pretty easy concept. As you can see in the opening match, Matt Hardy and The Miz started it, they wrestle, and then every 5 minutes another participant came out, and every time someone got a pin or a submission, they became the temporary champion, and whoever is the champion when the clock hits 0 is crowned the official champion. Simple enough, right? No, apparently not. Yo, people hated this match back in 2008.
Yeah, people was hating on this match, but if you look at it now, it's really creative. It's really creative when you think about it. It's creative. It's chaotic. It's creative, and depending on who's in the match, it can be unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I would love for them to bring this back, especially now since the women's title is going to be vacated again because Chelsea Green is injured, sadly, and they need to take the title off of Rhea and just vacate it. And I would love for them to incorporate a scramble match for the vacated women's title on SmackDown. I would love for them to do that. This would be the perfect time to bring this back and shake things up because ain't nobody trying to watch WWE right now.
Despise this shit, but I never understood the complaints. Oh, the first 15 minutes don't matter. Do they matter in any world title match? Pinfall and submissions happen too easily. It's just too confusing. How, bro? How? Whoever's champion at the end wins. What could you possibly be confused about?
Exactly.
I genuinely don't get it. The ECW Scramble to open the night was really solid.
I think people were just hating on this just to hate on it, bro. I honestly think people were just like, man, fuck WWE. TNA is the best right now, bro. TNA is the best wrestling promotion right now, bro. WWE's lost their touch, bro. What's going on with WWE, bro? Ever since they went HD and now they're going PG on top of that, two guys can't bleed anymore. This shit is whack, man. I hate this shit, man. Vince, you're fucking it all up, man. You keep making John Cena the champion. I hate this. That's what everybody was saying. Then again, WWE was in a rough spot around this time because of the Chris Benoit shit. So it was a lot of negativity towards WWE at this time. You had the Chris Benoit shit, the Eddie Guerrero shit, not that long ago either. Motherfuckers was using steroids again. Motherfuckers getting caught with steroids again. WWE was in a bad space around this time.
Everybody wanted Matt Hardy to win, and Mark Henry was there to ruin the party, and it was great to see Matt trying to defend his pin at the end by any means necessary, playing defense. Solid match with Matt Hardy winning the ECW title. But I think the biggest mistake they made, which led to people hating this match type at the time, was having 3 of these. There was no reason in having 3 of these matches in one night. The novelty dies real quick. They should have saved this for the main world titles. Like why is Chavo Guerrero in your new cool industry shaking match type? Ew, it's Chavo. Dan, dan, dan. Ew, Chavo. Well, the first scramble was out of the way, and it was then time for Cody and Ted DiBiase to take on Crime Time. Going into this pay-per-view, these two were some of the most useless idiots on the roster, but this was going to be the night where they finally stepped up, and it all began with them retaining their tag titles. But
the fact that Crime Time never won a tag team title, RP Shad, by the way, RP Shad. But the fact that Crime Time never won a tag team title and during their time in WWE, it don't sit well with me. As a black man, it don't sit well with me. I'm just saying, as a black man.
We want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
After that, it was then time for, honestly, the real main event of the evening. The match that sold more buys for this show than any board game wrestling match could ever.
Boy, they was on fire with this one, dog. They was on fire with this one. Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho was cooking with this feud, bruh.
HBK versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho in 2008 had developed into a savage, and Shawn Michaels and his family were his victims.
It was face into the Jeritron.
Gone was a smile. Chris Jericho was in the cut, and it was a scary sight. This man was tired of the hypocrisy of Shawn Michaels. He was tired of the fakeness, so after months of build-up, he took it into his own hands. This man not only hospitalized Shawn Michaels multiple times, he even hospitalized his wife. Yo, in the summer of 08, if Jericho got his hands on Michaels, it was gonna look like a crime scene every time. But his character was so much more than that. He would come out every week and call us, the fans, hypocrites, parasites, and I remember little me was just there entranced by heel Jericho. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, call me a parasite. Little me loved heel Chris Jericho. Him and Randy Orton were the first heels I ever fell in love with, but shit, even I knew at Unforgiven, Shawn Michaels and his lazy eye were gonna catch a body. HBK had lost his smile like it was 1997 all over again. He had to get revenge for himself, for his family. He had to get his dignity back. It was Jericho, it was Michaels, unsanctioned match, and boys, this was magic. Both of these men were in the ring, and Shawn Michaels went crazy. He wrestled, if you want to call it that, unlike any other match in his career. He was moving around like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin. 90 seconds into the match, he's already trying to give Jericho CTE. Jericho is throwing tables. He's trying to do anything and everything, but Jericho should have known it was GG once HBK pulled up in the street clothes. Shawn had the match won in the first 7 minutes or so, but he wasn't here to win a match. There was no mercy. Wait, that was the next month, actually, sorry. Walls of Jericho, nah, eat this. Oh, you trying to run? Here's a suplex on the stage. You want to have your little lackey pull up to save you? You want to bash HBK with the chair over and over? All good. This is Shawn Michaels, dog. Eat this sweet shit music. Eat this chair shot into the table. Guys, HBK went crazy. Just look at him. Look at the state of this guy. He looked like a homeless guy under a bridge, but he didn't care. He was here to destroy Chris Jericho. This man put Jericho and Lance cascade on top of each other, on top of the announce table, and
yo.
he just flew in the air, bang, double kill, plus 50 XP. He made Jericho pay for his sins, and the crowd loved every single second of it. And when it was all said and done, referee had no choice but to end the match. We hadn't seen a wrestler get cooked like this in years. And was HBK done after the match was technically over? Was John Wick done after he found the guy who killed his dog? Nah. Sean Wick was in the cut. Bang. Referee gets cooked. Jericho gets cooked. He is left unconscious. And Shawn Michaels, after all these months, finally got his revenge. What a match and what a moment. What work by Shawn Michaels. He genuinely looked deranged in this match. And after everything Jericho put him through, the good guy finally won at the end. Fans were happy. The commentary was happy. HBK finished the story. And finally, Rebecca could sleep at night. In my opinion,
It was a great moment, but no, wrong one. It was fun while it lasted, but well, there was one more match at the end of the night, and then there was a segment before that match. Man, I hate WWE, bro. I hate what Vince was doing around this time, bro. He was putting on good matches, but at the same time, he was doing stupid shit. Like, dog, what was the purpose of doing this shit? It was stupid.
a classic, all things considered, and some of HBK's most unique work of his career. 5 months of a slow build all led to this, and it was worth it. Jericho was out, he was done, he was yellow taped, he needed medical attention, and HBK's mission was finally complete. We got to backstage, and it was then time for something very important to be put into motion. You see Cody, you see Ted DiBiase backstage, you see Manu, and Randy walks in and they ask Orton if he was impressed by their win earlier tonight. He says that he wasn't impressed at all. So at this point, it was like, okay, the YGs still haven't stepped up enough. And you got to remember, at this point, Legacy wasn't a thing yet. They were still trying to get Randy Orton's attention. But don't worry, they knew exactly what they had to do. It was then time for the WWE Championship Scramble match. And listen, nobody in 2008 was more excited for this match than me, because 10-year-old me would have bet my entire life savings of $20 that this was a night where Jeffrey Hardy was walking out champion.
Facts. I was like, nah, Jeff gonna win this. It makes so much sense. You gotta think about it. This makes so much sense for Jeff to win this match. And it's a crazy pause right here. This is a this is a crazy pause right here.
Yo.
This looked like a crazy pause right here. Like Shelton getting Jeff Hardy, knocking the Sonic rings out of Jeff Hardy.
Everybody hated the scramble match. I don't care. I don't think those idiots understood how happy millions of children were around the world seeing Jeff Hardy get the 1-2-3 against the Brian Kendrick and seeing this graphic on the screen.
And it was up from here, dog. It was up from here, dog. It was up for me. I was like, yeah, Jeff Hardy the champion, yeah. Then the championship changed to somebody else. Like, no, go back to Jeff.
Look at that. That's all I needed. Stop the count. End the match. We've seen enough. But
Exactly.
as amazing as that was, I swear to God, I almost had an aneurysm like 2 minutes after that. Words cannot describe how it felt seeing the Brian Kendrick, this disgusting, nasty, sleazy looking ass weirdo, hit the sliced bread on Jeff and technically became WWE champion. What had my company become? This guy was champion. There were guys more jacked in my grade 5 gym class, by the way, than this champion. Yo, he just looks so slimy. But jokes aside, that's what made these matches have so much potential back in the day. When else would you have ever seen anything like this? They did their thing. I think it was a solid match, but once Triple H came out with 5 minutes left, yeah, they went crazy. It felt like watching a back and forth NBA playoff game. It was game 7, title on the line, Jeff Hardy versus Triple H. Somebody was walking out champion. Triple H walks in, and literally in 30 seconds he becomes a champion, because of course, but then Jeff becomes becomes champion. Fast forward another minute, triple fraud pedigrees Kendrick, and now he's back champion. They were trading threes, clock was winding down, Kyrie for three, bang. But sadly, Draymond Green always found a way. But it was time for a miracle, okay? With less than 2 minutes left, all Jeffrey has to do is survive 2 minutes. Just defend for 2 minutes. If your useless ass brother can do it, I'm sure you can, Jeff. Jeff hits a swanton on Shelton, but of course, Triple H pedigree in the middle of the ring. Clock is winding down, and in the biggest choke job since the Patriots went 18-0 just to lose in the Super Bowl, Jeff, instead of stopping,
I'll probably say the Atlanta Falcons versus the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. But I digress.
the pin, goes for his own pin, clock hits 0, buzzer goes off, and Triple H retains. And all I can say is, hello darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. I never watched this show live, but I remember somebody had uploaded the show on YouTube literally hours after it ended in like the worst quality ever. And I'll never forget, it was like part 14. And I remember making out the pixels and be like, please Jeff, win. And he didn't, and it broke my heart. Now, did Jeff botch the ending? I am pretty sure he did, but regardless, this match showed the magic that scramble matches can have. The drama, the excitement, going back and forth, it feels like a sports game. Especially when you have a fan favorite chasing a title. How do you not get invested?
Exactly.
Great match, heartbreaking ending. But as you know, if there's one positive that comes from this, that Jeff Hardy momentum was coming in hot, and it all started here. But you know whose momentum was about to get cooked? Hello, Mr.
I'm not even a CM Punk fan, but even I know this was stupid. I don't know what Vince was thinking, but this was a dumb idea to do this to CM Punk. This was stupid because you wanted to put the belt on Chris Jericho. No, you could have screwed CM Punk over. You can tell us a story with little to nothing. Literally, they could have literally. You could have put this segment on the very next night on Raw. You could have had CM Punk and Randy Orton have a segment backstage. He said some crazy shit to Randy Orton. Randy Orton punched this nigga in the skull. But before that, CM Punk and Chris Jericho got into it, and Jericho talking about he wants a match tonight, and he gonna get his match tonight against CM Punk, because CM Punk is a fighting champion. So then you have the Randy Orton segment happen. He punches him in the skull, and then and then he comes out there and he gets his ass whooped by Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho ends up winning the match. You could have did it that way. No, what do? We fucking have him get punched in the skull before the championship. Look, it's one thing to do it on Raw, it's another thing to do it on pay-per-view, bro. I'm just saying, bro. This was stupid. You could have did this on Raw the next night, and it would have made all the sense in the world. You did this at the pay-per-view that was being hyped up. No, bro, no, not at the pay-per-view. At least at the pay-per-view go through.
Punk? CM Punk at this very moment was about to experience one of the most disrespectful world title reign endings we have ever seen. Y'all know how in the movie Friday there's a line, how do you get fired on your day off? Yo, how you lose your world title before your match even starts? CM Punk had been champion for almost 2 months. They gave him a sad ass JBL match, and now just like that it was wraps. He was face to face with Randy backstage, who wasn't even cleared to wrestle yet, by the way, and boom, Ted, Cody, and Manu pull up. They destroy Punk backstage, who, remember, world champion, by the way. Randy hits the punt, and it is over. You don't see CM Punk for the rest of the night. The world champion, the reigning, defending world champion, made his one and only appearance backstage, got punted, and it was time to hit the showers, kid. Literally the most disrespectful world title reign endings you will ever see. I told you, they wanted to shake things up at Unforgiven, and boy, were they about to. But first, it was time for the quarterly Big Show heel turn.
Well, it's a big show.
I guess, bro. You got it. Undertaker won Vicky Soul or something. Big Show turns heel for the 25th time of his career. What do you want from me? Anyway, with that state-sponsored Big Show propaganda out the way, it was then time for the main event. The main event in which it was announced that Punk was not cleared for. Batista, JBL, Kane, or Rey Mysterio, one of these men was walking out world champion. Now you would assume, looking at this lineup, that Batista was gonna win this match, right? You would assume, and that's exactly what 10-year-old Pav wanted. But there was one problem. CM Punk's spot was empty, and unfortunately for Batista, the company had a certain man lying half dead backstage with absolutely nothing better to do.
And then you give it to the guy that lost the match instead of giving it to Shawn Michaels. You could have literally gave it to Shawn Michaels. And even if you don't want Shawn Michaels to have the title, because he doesn't want the title because if for those of y'all that don't know, Shawn Michaels didn't want a world heavyweight title. He didn't want a world title anymore. He didn't mind facing for the title, but he never wanted to win it. So even if that's the case, you still let him go and do it. Making Chris Jericho the champion after he just got his ass whooped in an unsanctioned match where that match ended with him unconscious makes no sense. He got TKO'd in a match and then wins the WWE Championship. That's why this shit don't make no sense. You just got TKO'd earlier in the night. It doesn't make sense for him to come. Because if he got TKO'd and then CM Punk got his head kicked in, which technically means he got TKO'd, how the fuck does the logic makes no sense.
Man, you know what? I'm tired of you! I'm tired of this shit! What more do you want from me? Get this sorry ass nigga out of here! You suck!
Houseway.
Back from the dead, break the walls down, out comes the parasite. He used to call us parasites. I've never seen a man look more like a parasite in my life. Jericho looks like he just crawled out of a hospital dumpster and somehow was now entering a world title match. And HBK was nowhere to be found. Chris Jericho was the last entrant in the scramble match. And what better way to get things popping? What better way to flip the company upside down than for the parasite to pull up? Batista cleans house. There's 25 seconds left. He's busy beating up Rey and Jericho, who looks like he survived a nuclear blast with 7 seconds left. 1, 2, 3 rats out the biggest finesse of his career. Chris Jericho, after almost dying, after basically dying, after HBK went Mortal Kombat on him, after getting hit with a fatality, comes back and ends Unforgiven 2008 as World Heavyweight Champion. Yo, just look at him. Look at his face. The crowd is shocked. Batista is shocked. HBK was backstage punching the air, and that's how Unforgiven 2008 ends. One of the biggest rat finesses of all time. 3 championship scramble matches. Big Show turns heel for the 25th time. Legacy is basically formed. CM Punk loses a title without even wrestling. Brian Kendrick gets to be champion for like 2 minutes. Jeff Hardy's stock skyrockets. HBK gets his revenge in the best way possible. But despite that, Jericho gets the last laugh. In just 3 hours, it was almost a brand new company. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Unforgiven 2008. What an interesting show, and I love shows like this. Unforgiven 08, Elimination Chamber 2010, where it's like, yo, we gotta heat things up. This isn't working. Let's just go crazy. We have 3 hours on pay-per-view. Let's just change everything. No Cena, no Edge. Randy Orton's not even cleared yet. No problem. We'll figure it out. What a time it was to be alive. I love the championship scramble matches. I wish they brought him back. I used to play this in the SVR games so much. I know NXT has something similar these days, but I don't know. It doesn't hit the same. To me, if anything, that's even more complicated. Please bring back the scramble matches.
Please bring
it's your boy
back
Pat,
the scramble
aka
match.
Wrestling Gifts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. In the comments down below, let me know what memories do you have of this show? What do you think about this show? And anything else. I'll see.
Most definitely, man. For sure. But anyway, so that's just going to about do it for this one, man. Yeah, yeah, like I said, it was a good pay-per-view overall. It's just the Chris Jericho shit made no sense. You could have literally did this the next night on Raw. It makes more sense the next night on Raw to do this shit versus doing it at the pay-per-view where it doesn't match up. Because what you did was you just gave us one of the greatest matches between Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho, and then you ruined the ending. You ruined the ending by having Chris Jericho win the title at the end of the night in another match. They should have just let CM Punk go through with that match, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, this is